What if we could break the barriers that keep kids from playing or continue playing or finding success in their playing and find the simplest path forward? I'm going to present you with some of those ideas. It was 1984 when I graduated from Ithaca College in upstate New York, ready to embark on a career in music education. I was enthusiastic, I was excited, I was ready to go. I started teaching elementary band, middle school band, high school band. I started a community band that I still direct. Loved every second of it. I became a department head in 2 school districts in Massachusetts. I was a little bit concerned about retention because it was different than I was in high school, and I just made note of that. I took a break from teaching, and when I took a break from teaching, I pursued a doctorate. I worked with some publishers on my composing, loved it. I finished my dissertation, I was bored, silly, and I was drawn back to public school teaching. My favorite work ever. I worked in a K-2 school part-time, and the following year I took a grade 3 through 5 position that I've been at for 6 years. In the elementary pedagogy, I found answers. I found research that would transform everything for me, and I do not teach the same. And I'm excited to share some of that with you. My research has led to 3 publications. I've written It's Time to Play a Band Instrument, It's Time to Play the Recorder, and It's Time to Play a String Instrument will come out this spring. So I'm teaching, I finished the class. And by the way, after this class, I feel like I deserve battle pay. Right? So I finished the class, and I'm exhausted. I'm at my computer. I turn the screen off because I like to project the music. Colin comes up to me. And Colin says, "Oh, Dr. Smith, I don't have to quit now. I'm finally good enough that I don't want to quit." I put this up on a Facebook group, and you can see a lot of people liked it. I think when kids are successful, they keep going. When they're not successful, they'll give you 100 different reasons. But the reason they stop playing is they're not successful. When kids succeed, they feel good about themselves, and they continue playing. This is what I do. This is on the front of my website. The first thing I say, I want to enable all students to succeed when it's time to play an instrument. I'm not happy with 90%. I'm not happy with losing 1. It just means I have to reach them. Sing along with me if you've got it. Zimbole, 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 zimbole. Yay! Now I'm going to break it down into solfege. Let's do call and response. Me, 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 re, 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 do, 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 re, re, re.
Mi, re, re, do, 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 re, re, re.
Mi, sol, mi.
Mi, sol, mi.
Re, fa, re.
Re, fa, re.
Do, 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 re, re.
Do, 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 re, re.
Mi, re, do, 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 do.
Mi, re, re, do, 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 do.
E, D, C, 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 D.
E, D, C, 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 D.
E, G, D, F, D.
E, G, F, D.
C, 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 D.
C, 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 D.
E, D, 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 C, 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 C.
E, E, D, 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 C, 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 C.
Do, day, do, day, do, day, do, day.
Do, day, do, day, do, day, do, day.
Do, da, day, da, do.
Do, day, do.
Do, day, ta.
Do, day, ta.
1 E-N, 3 E-N.
1 E-N, 3 E-N.
So now I've broken down the rhythm. Now I'm going to have the kids play it. I didn't just start with the kids playing it. And by the way, every single kid is going to be successful. If I started with just the notation, half the kids would get it. By the way, that's the dropout rate. The kids who read notation keep going. Once they can play 5 notes, they can play this song. Now I love the song. Lightly roll, o'er the glassy ways we go. By the way, how many people know the words to that song? Lightly roll. My kids have to do this because I don't want them to play notation that turns into a song. I want them to sing and play a song and then learn the notation for it. Notation doesn't equal music. Music is songs. Lightly roll, o'er the glassy ways we go. Smoothly glide, o'er the silent tide. Let the winds and waters be mingled with our melody. I changed the word for the last line. Sink the boat, then we all will choke. They love it, right? No, we learn the words right the first time, and then we change the words just for fun, because we want to have fun, right? By the way, the song Lightly Roll is a great song, especially do, re, mi, fa, so, so, so. But this song is a little bit more engaging. It means peace. It's a song from Africa. Do you have African American students in your class? Oh yes. Should we do songs that aren't just titled American folk songs? Oh yes. So here we go. After I take them on the right-hand side, because the words matter, the songs matter. Songs are expressions of people. They're not just something that magically happen, melodies, because we press the right fingers. I move them to this side, and they do the solfege. They do the solfege and singing. Then they do the note names and fingering, and then they do the rhythm. So we get past the rhythmic complexity. Then they're ready to play it. Then we go back to the right-hand side of the page and play without all this information, because we want them to be fluid readers of notation. And here's my 11 leaves for literacy. You probably can't read that, so I broke it down. Here we go. First is learning the song. Just like Zimbabwe, I sing the song for the students, and they participated with a game. You could skip the game when they're in 5th grade. Then the students sing the song with the same movement or game. Then the students sing with solfege. I sing with solfege. They sing with solfege. They sing and finger on the instrument, right? They have to move their fingers while I sing. And then they sing and finger. And all of this is auditory preparation, setting them up for success. Then they sing with note names, because obviously note names matter. They can't just do the solfege, they have to learn the note names as well. Then they sing with the rhythmic syllables and counting. You should match what they already know. So let's say you love Takadimi, but your elementary teacher is taught Gordon rhythm syllables. Use Gordon syllables. It doesn't matter what you like. This isn't about you. Uh-oh, sorry. This is about the kids being successful. And when you build on what they already know, then you increase the chances of success. We want to build on what kids know. By the way, all this stuff that I'm talking about, they've been doing in their elementary general music class. So if you build on that, you're setting kids up for success. We play the song. This is step 8. And then step 9, they're on the right-hand side of the page with all the information. By the way, step 8 and 9, that is step 1 for most beginning band and string classes. That is step 1. You throw the notation out the kids, and they play. There's no auditory preparation. They're just supposed to piece it all together in their head, and they have to do all that work themselves. You are setting them up for success with all the auditory preparation. But you're not done at step 9, because step 9 means they can play a song. Step 10, they demonstrate their understanding through assessment. And I'm going to show you a page I have at the end of each unit. And then step 11, they extend and personalize their learning by taking the melodic patterns and creating something. I'm going to create in every class for me, because I think creativity is the most important thing we do. It's step 11. It's at the top of the Bloom's taxonomy. When they can play back a song because they can read notation, that's one thing. But when they can take the information, the patterns in the song, and create their own song, oh my God, now we're talking next level. Now we're talking true understanding.
So over those 11 steps, is that 1 lesson, 2 lessons, 3 lessons? Like how long does it usually take you to get through, let's say like a group of steps?
A lifetime. No, it's a great question. So I write down at the bottom of those, you couldn't see it, but it is, you do not need to do all 11 steps for every song. So it's a great question, they need as much auditory preparation as they need. And they need review every week. Singing finger for flute. Mi, sol, do, do, re, 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 mi, mi, re, 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 do, do, re, re, mi, sol, do, do, re, 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 do. Do, re, mi, sol. This is unit 2 for me of everything I teach. Now the second time they have to play it. So while you're listening to this, I'm going to talk over it. Let's see, can you hear me? Okay, I'm going to put that a little higher. Okay, so do, re, mi, so. After they've learned the mi, re, do songs, now they're learning do, re, mi, I, and so. What a great song. Second lesson, they're going home and learning 5 songs in this unit. First time, they sing and finger. Second time, they play. Guess what the sub does when I'm out? They work on these at home. These are up on my YouTube channel. They're on my website. So they're available to any kid who uses my method book. Song from Mexico, Mata Really Really Wrong. Of course, the kids learn to sing it in Spanish. Mata Really Really Really, que usted mata Really Really Wrong. Here are my barriers. Notation first. That's a barrier to all kids succeeding. Learning notation in order to play songs. Versus music before notation, learning songs and adding notation. Teaching concepts through songs. What methodology is that? Teaching concepts through songs. 100 years ago, Kadai taught us all that. Sound before sight. Of course, we all say sound before sight, sound before sight, sound before sight. That's what we do, but we don't do it. Method books don't do it. What's the first thing you learn in a method book? What's the beginning first one? This is a whole note. Count a whole note. You learn notation in order to play songs. But in my approach, thanks to what I saw in elementary research that changed my life and changed my teaching, I teach songs and add notation. I teach notation through songs rather than songs through notation. Both are important, but the order matters. This is a barrier. This is one of the reasons, I think it's the first reason that we don't hit 100%. And we hit closer to 50% after the first year. Barrier 2 is limited song repertoire. Let's face it, the repertoire in our method books is not very good. It's more about learning to read notation. Where something like I wrote might make a very good supplement to a repertoire. I use my method book as a first year method book because I'm really interested in teaching songs and concepts through songs. But I could see how some people, and I know some people, use it as a supplement. The folk songs in beginning methods are less interesting than the richer collection found in most elementary classrooms. Expanding the song repertoire. Playing songs from around the world. Yes! Making sure all students see themselves as belonging in the instrumental music ensemble. I have students who have relatives in Mexico. I do Spanish songs from Mexico. I have students from Japan. I do songs in Japan, and we learn the Japanese language. I have students from China. I do songs from China. I have students from all over the place. I do songs. Even if I don't, we are a global world. It matters that we are all connected. The repertoire can expand.
Yes.
Do you see the point, though, that these kids are sitting in your ensembles, right? Let's broaden the repertoire. And I'm not talking just beginning band. I'm talking middle school and high school band. Let's broaden the ensemble experience. This is my barrier number 3. Barrier 1, notation first. Barrier 2, limited repertoire. Barrier 3, limited focus. Learning to read notation in order to play literature in the instrumental ensemble. Broadening band. Learning diverse song to play for friends and instruments. You are not just learning to play in the band. You're learning to play for an instrument. How cool is it to play a trumpet? How cool is that? You don't just belong to the band. You have a trumpet. You can play it at church. You can play it anywhere. You can do a jam session. You can play jazz. Playing a variety of genres which reflect the school community. Imagine that. We're going to have a mariachi band because we have a high Mexican population, right? We're going to play all kinds of things. We're going to reflect the school community. We're not just going to reflect that literature that's available for ensemble. Yes, we're going to do that. It's a beautiful, wonderful thing. I'm a composer, right? It's a beautiful thing, but it's not all we do. We don't learn an instrument to play the literature that the director chose for us. We learn an instrument to play songs, express ourselves, create. Music is a wonderful thing. It's broader than our ensembles. And then, of course, we have to create and improvise. I'm not letting a single class that I ever teach that doesn't have a creative component. I don't care if it's high school concert band, elementary band, classroom, the kids are going to create. We broaden our band world to literature plus creating, plus expanding the repertoire, plus playing by ear. I think it's going to be a whole new thing. I think it's going to be a whole new thing. And that's where I think modern band is doing us a huge favor by opening our eyes to what's possible. Matisse. Henry Matisse. The artwork is called Dance. Matisse made this painting quickly as a compositional study for dance. Its simplification of the human body and radical elimination of perspective were attacked as inept or willfully crude, but Matisse felt that it evoked life and rhythm. I love Matisse. For me, I'm working towards simplification. And this is what captured me. Children learning to sing and play a diverse repertoire of songs, leading to a lifelong creative connection to music. and opening the door to the beauty and complexity of instrumental literature. The simplicity of saying, what are we teaching kids that's going to last? How do we hit 100%? Not, this is where we tend to start. We want to prepare kids to read literature, even in elementary school. Middle school band, I don't think it's just literature. I think it's learning to play a song by ear every class. I think it's creating every class. Learning a repertoire of songs so Rachel can go home and play songs for her family and friends. It's not just literature. Yes, it is literature. It is that. But it's more. And that's my simple path forward.